Feeding people has always been a way of sharing love, nurturing others, and bringing folks together. I met Donna Denison in the late 90s when she was a guest at my Holiday Artisans show. Since then, I have had the honor of watching her grow her business, Little Creek Dressing, in the most ethical way. Donna is an incredibly hard worker, a dreamer, a storyteller extraordinaire, and an inspiration. Please join us as we visit Donna at her home, which she shares with her partner Dale, who is an organic farmer and musician. I'm Carrie McLeod. Welcome to The Makers. Happy to see you.
Thanks for coming.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what I was thinking driving here? So I met you when I was 22 and now I'm 52.
Oh my
So
goodness.
30 years.
Oh, that's,
yeah.
Isn't it amazing? And here you are back at Little Creek.
I know, I always will come back here. And look.
Yay. Hey, let's go.
This looks amazing. Everything looks amazing for fall.
I love
How
the
are
fall.
you?
I'm good. I love the fall, the colors.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Let's go in and have tea.
Yeah, that'd be great. I brought some goodies.
Oh, good. Well, I came from Summerland to our family property here that my great aunt and uncle bought in 1947. And my dad and mom bought it in 1969. And in Summerland I was a potter, and we moved here, and my husband Dale is an orchardist, so we were going to plant an orchard. So we cleared the forest and built our house, and I was a potter, moved into the house, found out I was having twins. So I couldn't be a potter. So I had to figure out other ways to support the farm and make a living. So I worked off the farm for quite a few years, and as we built the business a bit for the farming, Dale grew salad greens and lots of vegetables. And I just wanted to be at home with my girls. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to bottle this dressing I made in a jar for so many years that everybody loved. And I just reached out to the Summerland Research Station at that time, and they sent a food scientist out and just reached out and researched how I could actually bottle this dressing. So that was way back in 1995, and really I had just an idea. There was no business plan, no sort of funding, just this idea, and I just went with it. But I had my whole family. I had my kids that colored the labels and all the people visiting from Alberta that would come here for the summer, and really just slowly but surely built the business. Dale grew all the garlic, all the basil, all the raspberries, and our neighbors would take the basil home, strip it all. I'd drive it up to Peachland. They'd dry it. I'd come back, go back, pick it up, grind it in the blender, same with the garlic. So it was all very hands-on. It was just when our friends were starting a winery, and all the equipment they were using is what I ended up using for my dressing. And it was a very inexpensive setup. I would mix it in a 10-liter pail, and Dad would sit at the filling station and fill the bottle, put a cap, put a shrink on, slide it down, and Mom or the girls or any other neighbors that happened to be around, because a lot of people here were retired, and they were retired farm people, a lot of them, and farm people help each other. So many people in my community helped me with getting the dressing going. Okay. And that sort of was how it all started. I had a little building that was going to be my pottery studio, And we didn't have the money to put power in, so we had extension cords running up the long hill. And the breaker went in the middle of the night, and my husband Dale made a note, check breaker in the morning. Well, at 1 a.m. it was fully on fire. And the kitchen burned to the ground. I lost everything.
What year was that?
1998.
Okay.
So 3 years later, you know, we were just sort of building it. And so I thought, oh my gosh, that's it. I quit. So my dad, Donna Denison, is the original ice road trucker. And he lived down the hill. Mom and Dad bought this land from my great aunt and uncle in 1969 and subdivided it amongst us 4 kids in 1984. And Dad, John Denison, came up the hill and said, so kid, I hear you've had some bad luck. Well, don't even think of shoulda, coulda, woulda. What do we need? Let's get going. He was the original ice road trucker, so you never give up. So there's a book written about him called Denison's Ice Roads. He was doing the ice road trucking in the 1960s. Somebody just needed freight taken to the gold mines, and he did it.
I love this, and I love the idea of your big, burly ice road trucker dad coming in and labeling your dressing for you.
Yes, it's quite amazing. So Dad would spend his time with this labeler. Yes, you put the bottle in there.
Okay.
The label ran through here. He'd weave it through, and then this handle, you turn the handle, and it put the label onto the bottle and went through. The story behind this is that my friends who had the winery business.
Is that Poplar Grove?
Yes, Poplar Grove.
Okay.
Had the winery business, and they used a labeler like this. It's handmade in Surrey, BC, and of course with the fire, it burnt. But my friend's son, and Ian was in Naramata on the lake, and we live on the lake. So Ian offered me the labeler because he wasn't using it anymore. So my friend's son was taking his float plane license and needed to put in hours. So I went down to the lake, got in the plane, we flew to Naramata, landed the plane on the lake. Ian waited out with this labeling machine, handed it to me.
To the plane.
And I flew back to Little Creek so we could get back in production. And it was so amazing because all the neighbors rallied together, and we're just 2 kilometers north of Lake Okanagan Resort, and I used to work there. And in the winters, they didn't use their facilities, their kitchens, and they let me use their kitchen free of charge.
After the fire.
After the fire. Oh. So we just took everything over there. We just started all over again. And again, just persevered and just had so much support. And I did have a little bit of insurance. So my son, Juby Steinhauer, who was a builder, was living here on the land and expecting his first child, home birth. And so he ended up building the new kitchen for me, which was perfect because here he was at home, ready in case the baby came, and he built the new kitchen.
And so how long were you actually doing production at Lake Okanagan Resort? Like just a small amount?
It was just for a short time. I also, believe it or not, set it up at the Girl Guide camp, which is beside us because it's certified kitchen, and just sort of moved it wherever I could. And then September of 1998, we had our first run, and my uncle and aunt were here. It was Mom, Dad, my aunt and uncle. We did our first run of Little Creek dressing in the new building. So
and how many bottles did you do? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Probably, half a dozen cases.
Okay.
And I was fortunate that I was ahead of the curve in a lot of ways. And our farm is certified organic. Dale was the first certified organic grower of salad greens in the Okanagan. And that was part of my inspiration to bottle the dressing, because the government was saying do value added, and my value added was, yes, we did take all the garlic, we grew the basil, and raspberries because I made all the vinegars.
Oh, okay.
And it went so well on his salad greens. So, but, you know, and I did start to get a few orders, and I did some cross-marketing down at Granville Island with other friends that grew salad greens, and so much of my business evolved because of all the support I had from all these people,
like a community.
A community.
Of people with the same vision?
That's right. A community of people with the same visions, and just so supportive. It was just fantastic. And of course, summertime we get a lot of company, so anybody that came to visit would help, you know, up in the kitchen. And eventually I hired neighbors. A lot of the neighbors were retired, so they'd come and help me bottle, and Dad was always there, and Mom, and my daughters, and then my older brother had a jukebox business, so when he's got quite a sense of humor, so he's in the slow can and takes a dressing to Evergreen Natural Foods and says, "Oh, I've got some Big River for you," instead of Little Creek. That's so Richard, right? And then my sister lived in Vancouver, so she would take dressing. Mom and Dad and I would drive down and pick up different ingredients and, you know, deliver and drive back. Like one of the first places was the Milkman in Granville Island that took the dressing, because I was cross-marketing with Glorious Organics Farm. Like, again, such a community of people all on the same page with certified organic and looking after the earth.
Yeah.
And it was really a beautiful way to evolve. The community support is really, really big. And the thing about the internet is you can connect with other people in the same field, but it is definitely a little different than in the 90s when I first started. But you know, the support has been tremendous.
That's
really.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, I find, well, when you and I first met, like, the world of, because everything wasn't on the internet all the time, we had those artisan shows.
Yes.
Where we would gather, you know, whether it be at Christmas time or summer, spring, like, we had those times where we would gather and kind of catch up with one another, make those connections again. And now it's so saturated.
Yes, it's true.
That people aren't really attending those things in the same way, and we've lost that sort of momentum there, which is unfortunate.
Yes, we've lost that way of supporting each other in terms of the, as you said, like having the craft fairs or the smaller. I think supporting local is a big trend, but to be honest, you know, it's not always really what happens, because, for instance, I have, you know, 6 flavors, and they don't necessarily take all 6 flavors because always it is, I guess, the bottom line or whatever. It's unfortunate in some regards, but again, at the store level here in this community, there's such tremendous support of my product, and I'm so grateful.
Your plant is an example of how you can grow in still a sustainable way.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's just it's work. I'm a worker, so it is hard work. It's not la-di-da having your own business. When you're doing something like making a certified organic salad dressing that supports planet Earth and helps people eat healthy, or whatever product you're doing that you're putting your love and good energy into, you know, I think it just needs to be supported. And I mean, it is supported, but you're right about the Amazon, the online ordering, and that does make it a bit challenging. I use glass bottles, so it's heavy. We do mail orders, but it's heavy to ship, and but I just can't do plastic. For me, it's the environment.
Yeah. So because you are sort of at the final phase of your career and not wanting to do this forever, what would be your wish for Little Creek?
Well, to have someone with the same vision about the earth, and, you know, just not putting poison in food, and having integrity with the product, integrity with business, and carrying on like the legacy of honoring the earth and helping people eat healthier and be healthier minded, you know. So yeah, it would have to be someone that shared a vision. Has to be someone that cares about the earth and can see moving forward that is really, really important. That would be, I mean, I have wonderful staff right now as well, and just to work together would be really, really wonderful for sure. Yes, it's true. I sort of had my own cooperative of family. Like even my grandson did demos in Vancouver, Victoria for me. Yeah, my husband did demos. The girls did all my twins did all the Instagram, and my son ran my business for 6 years. And my grandsons worked in the business, and really, that might be harder now for families because of the just the way things are in the world. Sharing businesses or having a co-op of some sort would, if you could work out the logistics of it, that would be great, for sure. It's a matter of just finding like-minded people and people with integrity and on the same journey, I suppose. Yeah. My friends in Nepal gave me their business card, and I thought it was so cute. It said, from the Academy of Everything is Possible. Keep on going, just keep going. And I followed my intuition, and that really for me worked. Like if you follow your gut or your intuition, and just also very mindful of how I grew the business. Yeah. To be raised by an entrepreneur like Dad, and my brothers were entrepreneurs, and I didn't have a lot of fear fear of that I wasn't doing something good enough or acknowledged enough in terms of that whole thing.
Validated.
When I grew up, it was like the 60s, so I was sort of and in the West was different than the East, because women in the East had careers, went to, we were still a farming community out West. And I remember, at school, you took a business course or matric, so you'd go to university. It was just sort of the beginning of women, I feel, near the beginning of women going into university to have a career, like a teacher or a nurse. Gender specific in that regard. Like they never said go in for doctor. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy to be an inspiration. I think that's a gift in life, to be able to be an inspiration or somehow, uplifting or encouraging for others. That's really important to me. And be healthy. You have to look after yourself, because in this day and age too, it seems like there's a lot of toxics in food and stuff. So I think you have to look after your health, which also includes going for a walk, or it's really about sharing. And actually, because this place is so special, I just really want to share, because so many people don't have I'm so fortunate that I live on the lake. Beautiful property, beautiful garden. You can be in the trees, you can be in nature, you can stand with the hummingbirds,
Exactly, yeah.
So I really want to share that. So last year was a very intense year, of course, with the fires. And the fire just raged through West Side Road, burnt the resort, burnt the park, and stopped at the fence line of our property. The wind stopped, and this is partly why the fire stopped. Also, I feel this land is very special, and my brother and his wife had stayed behind and watered, and the fire crews did come in, and because they could set up here at our land. It's hard to set up in other areas, but yeah, the fire just raged through and miraculously stopped. The fire, the fence is burnt, the trees are burnt, and our property is safe, and I'm beyond grateful for that. Yes, I do feel like this property is very special and protected, and that's why I want to share it. So people,
you do.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places to come. Thank you.
Thank you. such a community of people all on the same page with certified organic and looking after the earth. And it was really a beautiful way to evolve. Community of people with the same visions and just so supportive. It was just fantastic. And of course, summertime we get a lot of company, so anybody that came to visit would help, up in the kitchen. And eventually I hired neighbors. A lot of the neighbors were retired, and they were retired farm people, a lot of them. And farm people help each other.
Little Creek has been my happy place to visit for many years. Donna encourages everyone and shares her light. Little Creek dressings are a staple in many people's fridge, and my kids certainly grew up with them. It says right on the bottle, made with love, light, and gratitude. Everything Donna does is made with love, and that is probably why I fondly call her my fairy godmother. I have no doubt that these conversations and the spirit that Donna has put out into the world is going to help inspire and encourage younger generations to follow a creative path and perhaps find something like she did that can lead to a career. Thank you for joining us for this segment of The Makers.